Football League on EA Sports. The scene a few moments ago, here it is. It's unlike any other in sport as both teams made their way out of the tunnel. These folks are fired up as their guys are ready to do battle between the Mexico City Diablos and the Green Bay Packers. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the first carry for Le'Veon Bell. Bell so light on his feet, and he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. First carry for Leonard Fournette. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 2nd down, here's Fournette. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And boy, the reward was there. A big, big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
They'll try and run for it with Bell. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ground?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched him more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Rodgers now on 1st down. And this is incomplete. So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. Not a chance at all. Way easier said than done.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. first down.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down. The first red zone opportunity now for the Packers. 1st and 10 right at the 20.
319!
Back to the ground, this time with Bell. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2. And that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
Now Rodgers throwing on 2nd down. Stepping up, he'll try and run. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. All that gets him is just a yard, and now it's 3rd down. Play number 9 now on this pretty long opening drive, but this is 3rd down. To throw is Rodgers. Oh, he almost picked it. Nearly a turnover there on their opening drive. And that's a throw he'd like to have back. Now 4th down. He was all over that route defensively. Now, they had 2 picks last week as a unit. Couldn't quite grab that one.
Patience, Grasshopper. Patience. Early in this game, but you like the fact that they're around the football early. They're going to be upset they didn't haul that one in, but at least they're there at the moment of truth to make a play on it.
By the way, where did the grasshopper thing come from? I know it's been around for a long time.
Yeah, I'll have to tell you that some other time.
All right, back to football. Jamal Agnew now to return it. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Lucky 56.
First carry for Darius Geis, and he'll get this only up to about the 35. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Partner, I love to point out when teams break tendency and do something a little bit different from the norm. But when you run the ball in the first play of the drive, that's not a tendency breaker at all. That's just trying to establish yourself as you move forward.
Detroit! Detroit! Set! Blue 90! Blue 90!
Now a toss. This is Geis. And hard running's going to get him over the 40 to the 42. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain. And with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Mexico City football to begin quarter number 2, and they've got it here with a first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
Looks like they're establishing a pretty good pattern here because they've been very heavy in the running game on the last 4 plays.
Yeah, you took the words right out of my mouth. So far, 4 plays in this drive, all 4 on the ground. They'll run it now out of the gun. And this will be taken across midfield and into Green Bay territory. Josh Jackson, the former Iowa Hawkeye, made the play defensively.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's got some space here. And he's going to get this down near the 30-yard line. And a nice carry there of 15 yards. That right there, a good sign for a team that's had trouble converting third down so far this year. They're in the bottom 5 in the NFL, but they come through there.
Yeah, and I bet if we put our guy Marvin on the case and say, Marvin, tell us where they rank on third and what, right? I bet they're in the top 5 in the league on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, 3rd and 7 or more, because that's how you end up not converting. Just too much yardage to pick up on third down.
Heck of a move, and then brought down near the 23. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Switch it up here and look to throw. On the catch, it's Crowder. That one goes for 16 yards. It sets him up 1st and goal. Now they're piecing together a nice drive to start this one. Seems pretty scripted and pretty successful so far.
And I think they did it without our help. Because you remember when we sat in the production meeting with them to talk about this, and hey, you know, you guys didn't come out of the gate. I know I offered my help with a few plays, and they didn't seem to want it.
I didn't offer mine.
You were the smart one. Whatever they're doing, though, it's working really well.
Geis, they'll try to run it. And he'll be stopped up after only a couple of yards as he gets it down to the 5. Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play, you may have to go to the air.
And the ball smack dab on the 5-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. They give it to him running left. And he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Darius Geis, his first touchdown on the year. And his guys are able to strike for 6. And they're able to run it in. It started with the battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how we're going to slow down this running game. Because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Hopkins with the extra point, and that makes it a 7-3 lead. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. The Packers offense now heading back out onto the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it. Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Fournette. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Call it a gain of 5 there on the run, but they'll remain a yard or 2 short here with 3rd down coming up. Now Rodgers. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A nice pick up there, 10 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Remain here in the first half. Back with more after this. Rodgers now on first down. And he'll get that to Fournette, complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down. A pair of first downs gives them a 1st and 10 up at the 44. Fournette, a first down carry. And he's going to be stopped at about the 37. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Second down, here's Rodgers. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. He'll get a couple yards on that one, and that'll bring up a 3rd and 1. They'll pitch it out to Bell. Bell so light on his feet. And he's able to pick up the first before he's taken down at the 27. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. incomplete. Now let's see who this is on. So the pass incomplete in the end zone, but contact and pass interference.
And now where does the ball get placed?
At the 1-yard line.
1-yard line. They gave up excellent real estate on that one. That's going to work really, really well for the guys who threw it.
Now Bell. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Green Bay touchdown. Le'Veon Bell in the final seconds of the first half. And the Packers are able to cash in for 6. Santos on to try the extra point. Santos with the extra point, and the lead is now 10-7. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes this offensive unit as they get set to take over here. And from this spot in the field with the clock where it's at, you think we're just going to see a knee and that's it?
And I think in this situation, that's the proper play. But we do know there's some risk takers out there that may want to take one more shot before the clock runs out.
Likely time for one final snap as they start out 1st and 10. Now they try the right side here. And he'll get this one up to the 26. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Play got just a yard. Here's 2nd and 9 from the 26.
Set. Blue 90. Blue 90. All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
They'll throw now on the final play. They'll roll it, and he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So we're at halftime here at Lambeau with the Packers taking the lead to the break. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here they come, the road team now getting the football first to start this third quarter. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. The second half with a run by Geist. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Now that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
Second, bottled up, fumble. It's out, it's loose. And the Packers pick it up. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line.
And this is where you need the quarterback to morph into being a running back. The ball
design runs like that.
319.
They'll try and get the running game going with Bell. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Again, it's Bell. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. They get 5 out of that one, and it moves the chains.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
319. 319.
On first down, Rodgers out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. It's a gain of 5, and that'll make it second down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun, and he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
The Packers on third down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll go again with Bell. And a look at Bell, who remains down after that play. Appears to have gotten shaken up. While the trainers take a look, we'll step aside. And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And the lead stretches to 6 here. It's 13-7. Well, looking at it from a defensive perspective, that keeps the deficit very, very manageable. You know, all things considered, not a bad job on the defensive side.
I would say that you pointed out something pretty good right there, and that is you actually have both sides happy with that exchange. You know, happy in quotes, of course. One team, hey, we've kept it within range. The other side saying, hey, we put points on the board and did stretch out the lead. Let's see how this one turns out.
Yeah, still bottom line, though, 3 points for the opening drive of the third quarter. Now this offense ready to head back out there. And last time they coughed it up, led to a field goal. They're fortunate that it only led to a field goal, but still, they're not happy about it.
Could you sense the relief, though, when they only gave up the field goal?
And he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And this is going to be Packer football.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last 2, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. And last time they got 3
football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
To throw, it's Rodgers. Hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Oh, that's got to frustrate him a little bit because they nearly got to him there, and it would have been the first sack of the game. Instead, they're able to influence the release, and they did force the incomplete pass.
And Santos able to put this one up and through. It's good. And now it's a two-score game at 9, 16-7. So that's 3 field goals for him now, but heck, he's not even halfway to his career best of 7.
Seems like the 7 field goal games are the kind of games I always get assigned to in my other job. Let's hope for this offense's sake, they can start cashing in on a few of these drives.
So out now comes the offense back onto the field. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily what you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. They'll set up to throw. He's going to leave this for his running back. It's complete. Nothing on the screen that time. Now it's 3rd down. They couldn't get anything going there out on the right side of the flat of the swing pass.
And didn't we have a discussion with their staff about wanting to get the backs more involved in the passing game? Huge emphasis for this game, but obviously the defense had other plans and really made a nice play.
Back to throw here. Steps away to his left. He may try and run for this. And he will be knocked down hard, but he will have the first down. Good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards and a first. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. The first-round pick, Jair Alexander, making the tackle. They tried to run it to the short side of the field. There just wasn't a whole lot of room to work with.
Yeah, it seems like things just kept getting strung out towards the sideline, and he kept looking for a spot to dive up into the gap. There just wasn't one, so that turned into nowhere to run, nowhere to hide.
And no gain. Now Geis try to get to the outside. And he'll take this one for about
of positions almost with each passing game. How about defensive ends nowadays and the way that they can run almost all the way across the field?
It is unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, they're so strong, but they're so lean they can move so quick with those bodies.
It's almost unfair. You're supposed to be able to know where a defensive end is supposed to be on every play. These guys flash so quickly, you're not sure where they're going to end up.
They bring their punter out there now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Packers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. They'll start out on the ground with Bell. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Operating from the 27 now. Here's 2nd and 3. A handoff to Fournette. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
The Packers on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, it's Rodgers. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. 2-score game here in the 4th, and that pick, it kind of keeps the door ajar, doesn't it?
It does, and you wonder about their strategy because with a 2-score lead, you would think maybe you're just sitting on it and trying to drain some clock. It's almost like they felt like, hey, we've got a good cushion. We can keep pressing it. It ended up costing them.
Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10.
Here we go now. 3-19.
They start on the ground with Geis. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
Absolutely love the effort there. The ability to flow from his inside spot and stop that one at the line of scrimmage. Nice linebacker play.
No. Check. Patriot.
From the midfield strike, they'll look to throw. To the sideline, and it's caught, but boy, he's out of bounds. Now, they try to get him into space coming out of the backfield, but it'll be 3rd down. You got a young quarterback, maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy.
He'll look to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Sometimes the coverage is so good, no matter what you're doing on offense, you just can't shake anyone free. They try their best to find someone open, but they took away every passing alley, every angle, and shut the play down. also one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Again, they run. Again, it's Geis. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down. The offense on third down tonight, they've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 4.
Here we go now. Green, 39.
On play action, they'll throw. And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the Scrambler or the Dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out.
Here we go now.
They'll look to throw here. Over the middle, complete. That's Richardson. And he's going to get this one down to the edge of the red zone. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. They go play action here on 1st down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a 1st down. Well done. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a 1st down again. They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he gets halfway home from the 4 down to the 2-yard line. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. From the 2 now, 2nd and goal. They come up in an offset eye. They'll give it to him up the middle. And this will result in him losing yardage back to the 3. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
After a play like that, there should be congratulations all the way around, I think, because if you can stop a big fullback like that, that's not easily done.
Yeah, he does not go down easily. You're right, but he did there. Through a couple of plays, this Green Bay defense is held strong. Now it's 3rd and goal.
Back 99 Philly. Here we go.
They run with Geis, and he is into the end zone for a touchdown. Darius Geis, his 2nd touchdown of the night. And his guys have made this a 1-score game now.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed, but if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Packer offense now ready to get back onto the field. And following interception. Are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. A gain of 3, second down. This defense starting to buckle down when they need to, and right now they're winning this fourth quarter, losing the game, but they're winning in the fourth quarter.
And what a fine line it is about what they're trying to get done because they're down, so they obviously need the football, need a score, but they can't be so aggressive as to give up their edge, their gaps, and have the offense hit them with a big play.
Now here's a timeout coming on the defensive side of the ball as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. The Packers on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This is 3rd and 4. Rodgers to throw. Looking left sideline, it's complete. A big pickup there, and without question, that should be more than enough to wrap this one up. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today.
Yeah, just 1 pick so far, and his team leads. So now they can play complementary football, meaning if he takes care of the ball and his offense, if they're humming along, the defense doesn't have to be out there as long. He's taking care of his guys on the other side of the ball.
They're enjoying a fourth quarter advantage. And he spins past him and into space. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big gain there, and that should certainly be enough to put this one in the win column. Take it all the way down and just take the delay. He didn't even try to signal for a timeout, so they must have not been aware of the numbers.
I think he lost track of the time left in the play clock and probably was trying to read the defense and trying to figure out which play to run and just lost track, and it cost him.
Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. 1st and 15. Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. And the clock will now stop as a timeout is called with 5 seconds left.